What do you think of Crawford Canelo? There's a lot of talk about that.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition.
A good little man has never beaten a good big man.
Warning signs are everywhere, from legends to trainers. Everyone says Terrence Crawford is walking into fire against Canelo Alvarez. But is he stepping into danger? Or into destiny? Predictions are pouring in from every corner of boxing. Most of them carry the same warning. Crawford is playing with danger. But jumping 3 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. Yes, Crawford looked untouchable against Errol Spence Jr. But at 168 pounds, that's Canelo's kingdom, and many believe his size and power are on a completely different level.
Matchup. I think that we just overhyped Crawford, and I think Canelo is going to be a must.
Why do you think he's overhyped?
The recent win against Spence, but it was mostly because people just hated Spence. It wasn't based on anything that Terrence Crawford did.
And I mean, the performance he put on was amazing.
Was it the performance that could possibly lead to him beating somebody like Canelo, who's had multiple great performances, as opposed to 1, maybe 2? To be honest, he might just be a nobody if he loses, just like Errol Spence was. I kind of feel bad for him now that we set it up, but he still can cancel the fight.
Amir Khan, who knows this feeling better than anyone, has been the loudest with his warning. Khan also jumped up to face Canelo after dominating at a lower weight. The result? A brutal knockout loss. He didn't sugarcoat it when he said, "I don't think anyone is beating Canelo. Crawford giving up that much weight, it's just too dangerous." His words carry the weight of painful experience.
And Canelo,
I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Because size isn't just about numbers, it's physics. At 168, Canelo's punches crack bones. Even skilled technicians have struggled to absorb them. Crawford may bulk up, but functional strength is different from simply adding weight. And that's the real danger here.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before.
Promoter Eddie Hearn agrees, calling this a generational clash but with a massive mismatch. He told Fight of TV, "It's a great fight, but Crawford is too small for 168. He's not a big 154. He's not a big 160. And at 168, he's tiny. Yes, he's brilliant, but so is Canelo." For Hearn, the size gap is simply too much.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized.
And Hearn didn't stop there. He predicted that if Canelo can cut the ring early and force exchanges, a stoppage is very possible. Because Canelo doesn't like to chase, he wants you right in front of him. And if Crawford gives him that, it could be over quick.
Versus Terrence Crawford fight?
I don't think so. I think that he's much too much weight for Terrence. His style was difficult. People will say it was a poor performance from Terrence, but let's just say it was a great performance from Madrimov. I think 168 is much too big for Terrence. But like
Ryan Garcia also chimed in, even blunter in his words. Crawford can't beat Canelo. He didn't look strong against Madrimov, and Madrimov isn't even big. Canelo's seen every style, and he knows how to beat them all. For Garcia, the fight is not about size alone, it's about Canelo's mastery, experience, and adaptability.
Oh, and Crawford, what do you think?
That's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, Ali. If Fimo Lopez added fuel to the fire, Crawford may give him problems early. But once Canelo adjusts, he'll finish him late. And he might be right. Canelo's ability to adapt mid-fight is one of the reasons he's ruled the sport for over a decade.
Before you get out of here.
All right, listen, we can have the skills and everything, but jumping that much like that, it's a take. Jumping like that much, getting hit. I don't think Crawford's ever fought a fighter that's hit him directly, just straight, constantly in the arms. And it's not because they can't. They don't think that way. Appreciate you. Gotta clear it out, guys. Remember, this man's been pro since what, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
15.
Yeah.
But not everyone agrees. Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas, never afraid to go against the grain, thinks people are overrating Canelo's size advantage. He pointed to Canelo's slowing feet and issues with slick movers. Can Canelo handle a smaller, faster, slicker fighter? Crawford might be that guy. I won't go against him, he's that special.
A punch lands on him from Canelo.
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's
But in weight classes,
he's the most composed guy.
Yeah.
What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No. He's already moved up 3 weight classes. So now you're talking 6. If you add on 3. Crawford has the ability to slow things down in the ring that very few people have. And to see things.
Atlas sees Crawford's unbeaten record as more than numbers, it's a mindset. Fighters who've never lost carry a belief that's unshakable. Add to that Crawford's mastery of timing, distance, and defense. And Atlas believes he has the ingredients to flip the script.
You have to respect the power of Canelo. He does, don't get me wrong, he does have a lot of power. But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo go?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to
Promoter Frank Warren added his view, noting that Canelo hasn't looked invincible lately. He was getting tagged. Crawford could give him real problems. Warren admits that usually a good big beats a good small, but he sees cracks forming in Canelo's armor.
A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game. Unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth again. It's a much
weight away, Crawford, but it could give Canelo a real problem now because Canelo was getting caught.
Watching that, do you think Crawford might be, perhaps licking his lips isn't the right word?
Well, I'm sure he was. He was sitting ringside. He was sitting a couple of seats away from me ringside, and you could see he liked it. No schmuck. He knows he's boxing. And the other thing is, you've got to look at, what's his name? Was it Modric? What's his name? Madrimov, who he fought. Also gave him a tough fight for a guy who only had 12 fights. So it's going to be a very, very interesting fight.
For Crawford, though, this isn't just about skills. It's about testing limits. He's fought great fighters, but none like Canelo, a freight train at 168. Even Oscar De La Hoya sees it as too much, warning Crawford may be biting off more than he can chew.
No Triple G on Bud's resume. There's no Trout on Bud's resume. There's no Daniel Jacobs on Bud's resume. Canelo is the one that's fought the elite level opposition. It's Canelo that fought Laura. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ.
Yeah, but Bud is an elite boxer.
So you're an elite boxer, but you...
And that's the reality, Crawford. Maybe undisputed at 140 and 147, but 168 is another planet. Canelo has conquered for weight classes, even knocking out a natural light heavyweight like Sergey Kovalev. Crawford's dominance at welterweight is unquestioned, but this is different.
With Terrence Crawford, you know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terrence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terrence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show.
To me, how will the 12-pound difference be for Terrence Crawford? It's going to be his first fight at 168. For Canelo, this is the weight class that he always fights at, no problem. But I'm really curious on how Terrence Crawford is going to be able to adjust to this, and if it's going to be advantage or a disadvantage for
Canelo's resume proves it. He's beaten punchers, boxers, slick movers, and giants. His only losses to Floyd Mayweather, the greatest technician alive, and Dimitri Bivol, a natural light heavyweight. And both fights went the distance Canelo never broke. That's the mountain Crawford is trying to climb.
About me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
For boxing, I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be tough. So right now, I think it go be either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that went up in weight class. How do you think Terrence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. You get to the weight limit because there is a weight limit.
I think that Crawford is too small. Canelo is, in my opinion, the face of boxing right now. I think that look at his resume. I think it's a good fight for a little while. Crawford's hand speed will, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, the hand speed was evident at the beginning of the fight. But as the fight goes on, Canelo's going to start pounding on him. And I think that the fight ends somewhere between the 9th and...
Look at Jermall Charlos. Attempt to do the same thing, moving from 154 to 168 to face Canelo. The result was one-sided domination. Charlos simply couldn't handle the size, strength, and pressure. That memory is fresh in fans' minds, and it's a warning sign for Crawford. Even Mitri Bivol, who beat Canelo, stressed the danger. Crawford has to adapt to the size. If not, the power will overwhelm him. And that's where we stand. One of the biggest what-ifs in boxing. Can skill truly conquer size? Or will Canelo prove once again that physics cannot be denied? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe. This debate is only just getting started.